Okay, holy smokes. Talk about tech difficulties. Here we are. Oh my goodness. Okay. The chat. How do I share the link here? There we go. One second here. Okay. Thank you for your patience. Just about there. Okay. Okay. Just sending this out to people who were trying to join. Okay. We're good. Here we are. My goodness. Whoop. Sorry, Heidi. I didn't mean to add ya. I'll remove you. Okay. Well, my gosh. We're here. And what a journey to get here. Let me tell you. So I don't know if I mentioned, I think I did mention inside the emails that I was sending out to everybody that this is a definite test run. So we've been using new technology and it's great, but oh man, there always had to be a first, and well, this is the first. So let's see here. Let me see. I need to find the link. Where are we? Do me a favor. Whoever is here live, can you please chime in the chat just to let me know that you can actually see here? It would be absolutely awesome. I'd love to jump in, but at the same time, I don't know that this is necessarily... okay, I see Tammy. I see Heidi. I don't see Julissa, and I know there's a few other people that are wanting to join. So Thanks for hanging in there, ladies. What a ride. Okay, one sec. One sec. I'm going to send this to my love here. And we'll just see. And I know there's supposed to be some kind of like it's streaming to YouTube. Wait. Maybe I can find it. All right, hold on. Almost there, sisters. Thanks for your patience. I think we'll be doing an additional bonus for this so that I can make it up to you. And it'll be fun. Okay. I think this is it. Yes. Okay, great. Okay, so I'm not going to listen to this, but we've got it. Here we are. Welcome. So much love to all of you who are watching this live and who are going to catch the replay. It's been quite a journey to get here, and I'm so excited to have you. So excited to have you here and to be actually doing this with you. So, yeah, let's jump in. So, first and foremost, because we've been quite delayed, let me see. Yeah. All right. We're just going to go for it. Okay. First and foremost, because we've been quite delayed. Hey, Jules. Okay, so this is a private chat. Jules, I'm wondering if you can be in the public chat. Because right now you're just talking to me, which I love, but okay. Okay, let's just get going. All right, I'm going to trust that this is going to be just fine. So welcome and thank you for being here, sisters. Okay, so where do we begin? Okay, so welcome to the live stream, the Tech Glitch Beginning live stream. I'm broadcasting this from our chalet in Quebec, where we're in the middle of a thunderstorm. Hey, Jules, I see you. Beautiful. Ah, there we are. I'm seeing my sisters, Jules, Heidi, Tammy. Okay, amazing. Jules, I may have you come on at some point if you want to, but no need. But I just know that I can now, so this is amazing. Okay, so let's talk about your nervous system while we wait a few more minutes just for anybody who's going to jump on. I've sent out an email with a change in the link, so it's a little disjointed, but I know that everybody's interest and intention is all here, and so we're going to have a good time tonight. All right, but I want to talk briefly about the nervous system. Because have you ever considered the name like nervous system? It's a bit strange. I mean, it sounds like some kind of antiquated tech equipment that's barely holding it together. And it's no wonder that people are feeling anxious because of it. But something came through this morning that I was inspired to share. I'll start our evening tonight by just sharing that, and then we're going to get straight in. So what I'd like to do is kind of reclaim and rename the nervous system to what it really is, which is the center of your divine core. It's a living and breathing interface of the vessel, the physical vessel, between the body and the spirit. And it's divine circuitry through which your source self or your God self communicates to you and through you and to the world around you. So it's not just a bunch of nerves like doctors often describe it to be. It's actually your conduit for spirit. Not just any spirit, but your spirit, your soul. And it's a vibrational instrument like a tuning fork that lets you know when you're tuned in to your true soul signal or when you're tuned out and receiving a signal of distortion. Is that resonating with anybody? Okay, let me know in the chat if it is. And I'm just going to Can't get on the audience chat. Oh my God. This is too funny. Okay, so this is so bizarre. All right, well, one more thing we're going to be playing with. Either way, is that resonating with you guys? Oh, Tammy. Okay, Tammy can see Jules's chat. Hey, Tammy. Hey, Heather. We're exploring this new platform and having some fun with the tech. So people can see, but I can't highlight it for you. So I'll just have to read them. But I assume you guys can see each other's chats. Okay, this is great. Thanks, Tammy. Appreciate that. All right, sisters. All right, feel free to just chat away in the chat, and I will just do my best to see. I'm also not sure how to get into the audience chat. Oh my God, Tammy. Can we just like do a dry run of this another day as well? And we'll figure it all out together. All right, that's what this is. We'll just make this our dry run. I mean, it really is, but even more so. We're just going to get together, hang out, and play with this tech. I'm determined to master it. All right. So when the system's dysregulated, what do you feel? Right? You feel overwhelmed. You feel scattered. You feel paralyzed sometimes, or hypervigilant. Yes, where did you? Oh my God. Did you? Found it. Did not cancel the first, but okay. Thank you, Heather. I'm glad you made it. All right. So there is some issues with the chat. I can't see it in the spot where I would actually be highlighting it and showing everybody, which is supposed to be the whole reason I took on this platform, is like StreamYard. You can feature people's chats and showcase them. Well, tonight I can't showcase them. How interesting. Since we're all friends here, I'll just take my homeopathic remedy. And that'll be, as I was saying, when it's dysregulated, you know it. And when it's aligned, you know it grounded. You feel clear and centered, guidance from the body and from spirit. And you're able to create what you really want, not what you don't want, which is what happens so often when we are creating from a misaligned nervous system or dysregulated system. So if you want to restore it, we don't run from it, right? It's about tuning the frequency to your truth. You're not a nervous wreck. You're not a hot mess. You are a divinely tuned antenna. So tune yourself. Not to the noise around you or even to the noise in your head, but to the frequency of your true divine essence. And then it went on to say, this isn't therapy. It's a reclamation of your source self. It happens through your physical vessel and nowhere else. So repeat after me and let's get this show on the road, shall we? I am not broken. I am a divine instrument. I carry the vibe of love and to my truth. And so it is. So let's begin by taking a few slow, steady, deep breaths. And I have to say, it feels so good to connect with all of you here. With our jumbled beginning, and you guys still made it. And you found your way here. And now we are together beginning this journey. I'm going to have some fun connecting, sharing, and learning. So take a deep breath in and let it go. Take another deep breath in and let it go. And one more deep breath in and let it go. Now, I think that might have been more for me than anybody, considering how we started. And it's really interesting. It shows here that only one person is watching, and yet I see there's so many of you in here. So fun. Okay. Wow. To all the aspects of you, however you are appearing and showing in this live stream, welcome. All right. Now, the first thing I did want to share, if you're just showing up, is this is my very first time running this workshop and playing with this tech. I've played with it before, but not in this way. And so, as my soul would have it, because I was so ahead of the game, slides were done ahead of time. I was ready ahead of time. Everything was actually ahead of time until this. So this is a fun twist. Thanks for sticking it out. And regardless of that, you're going to get my all. I'm super excited to be doing this with you. And my number one goal is to make sure you get tremendous value from this. And also, because this is the first time, tech glitches aside, I really would like your feedback. It means a lot to me. If you enjoy it, if you experience some kind of shift or takeaway or something that's meaningful, I would be so appreciative if you could share that. You could share it in the chat or in an email or whatever you like. And as we go through, please feel free, make some notes if there's things that you would say, hey, I didn't quite get that, or I really love this, or I had trouble with this part. I really want your feedback. I value it, and I value you guys tremendously. Okay, so let me see how I change slides. Next slide. Here we are. Welcome. Okay, we already talked about the nervous system. Can you guys see the slides okay? Yeah? Okay. Let me know if you can't, because they are. Oh, yes. Perfect. Thank you, guys. And hi, Heidi. I don't think we've met. It's really a pleasure to meet you. Okay. So first and foremost, whether you're watching this live or you're watching it on the replay, you said yes to a different way of creating. And that starts with alignment. It talks about, we're talking about creating from alignment as opposed to creating from pressure, from clarity versus control, which is when the mind gets involved, and from frequency, not force. And that's going to be the theme for this evening. So I got a question for you. First and foremost, what are you, where are you tuning in from? I know some of you are from Canada. I know some of you are from the States. Where are you? I'm curious. Jules, I know where you're from. Feel free to type it in the chat. Arizona. Heidi from Canada too. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, and I know that Jules is from Canada as well. Nice. Thank you, sisters. Well, now that we know we're spanning quite a large space, North America here, you said yes, and I want to tell you a short story. So one of my clients, and this is someone who I know some of you here, Jules, you're one of them, who was in the Awakening Eden mentorship program. This particular client and sister of ours was in that program, and she once told me that it feels like my body doesn't believe what my mind is trying to create. She had done all the things. She was doing journaling. This is when we had first met. Visualization. She was part of some really great programs online for personal growth and development and mindset work, but nothing was sticking. And, she was curious, why is that? And it's because the frequency that she was carrying was still misaligned. Her body was stuck in survival, even though her thoughts consciously were focused on things that weren't. Can you guys relate to that? I'm just going to check my phone here to make sure. Okay, good. Just in case people are looking for the link. Excuse me as I check. That'll be part of the fun, I think, from this evening. So even though consciously she thought she was really dialed in and was using her mind the way she needed to, it was this underlying frequency that was ultimately stopping and preventing her from being able to create a lot of what she wanted. Once we worked through the process that I'm going to guide you through, this was a big turning point for her. Yes, I did mention she went through the mentorship program, but this was something that we started with. And she saw a tremendous amount of improvement just from this alone. Okay. And that's the power of this energetic self clearing. And that's what we're doing here today. So, this is the tip of the iceberg in some regards, and a huge transformational opportunity all in its own. And that's why I'm so excited about it. And just to be clear, too, one of the things that those of you that know me know already is that I don't just come up with things from my own head. Yes, I have ideas, etc., but every single thing that I do and create, including a workshop and what's going to be presented, what's going to be the offer, what's going to be any of the details that we cover, it's all vetted through my higher aspects. So, without getting into too much detail, this particular tool was the one that was selected ultimately by our group avatar, those of you who are here and who will be watching the replay, as what to share with you. And those of you who are in the Elevate with Katya community and are chiming in here, you'll know that this is a big step for the community also, because we're sharing this with people who don't yet know us. And so, yeah, this was the offering that was asked to be presented. Okay. So, without that, let's get into what we're going to share today. Okay. I can barely read that. Hopefully you guys can read it. One is a tool to calm the system on demand. A 4-step process, which really could be reduced to 2 if you wanted to. It can be that simple to recode your energetic signal. An understanding of why fear blocks your manifestations. And I'm using fear as a blanket signal because at the root of so many of the things that are running through the conscious and subconscious mind that are dysregulating the nervous system is based in fear programming. Also, a live activation so you can feel a shift in your own field, and a soul aligned way to continue if it resonates with you. So I'll be making an invitation to those of you who aren't already in the community. And if it feels like a fit, amazing. If it doesn't, amazing. You are going to with stuff every life, even if you don't join us. But I'm going to encourage you to come. Okay, so who I am and why I'm here, just super quick. And I don't know that I necessarily explain this beautifully, but I'll give you a little information about who I am. If we haven't met, of course, my name is Katya. I go by Katya Marie. And this stuff isn't stuff that I'm just teaching and sharing. Everything that I'm sharing basically comes from my own experience. I have soldiers, and I like to say visionary moms, because there are quite a few mothers that feel drawn to this work. And helping them shift out of fear, disconnection of the emotions, of the nervous system, and help them get back into the clarity of their true soul signal, their true divine signature. I don't like labels, but I will use them to try and explain kind of what I do. I'm a medium. You could say a medical medium, but it's a medium in connecting to infinite intelligence, really, as well as small as, aspects of the human body consciousness. And for years, I worked directly with the body consciousness, the energy field, and the higher self to receive detailed, accurate insight about what truly either supports the human being I'm working with or what would support the collective as a whole. And every technique that I teach today or share has been confirmed, not just by myself, but also by science and also by business, which, as far as I can say, is the consciousness and the wisdom that really overrides everything else, including science, because science, as you guys probably know, is just sort of slowly catching up to spirituality and what we're able to tap into at the spirit level. So it's a frequency game. Okay, why this matters. Actually, I'm not sure if this is if the slides are out of order, but either way, I'm just gonna explain here why this stuff matters. So we're talking about a biological and soul context. And here's why this work matters more than ever, especially right now. Your body, as you guys may know, is made up of 70 to 75% water. I was obsessed with the work of Dr. Masaru Emoto. I'm sure you guys have heard of him and seen his work. And his research revealed that water is so imprintable. It's like a memory stick. And our thoughts, and specifically our frequencies that are emitted through that, literally change the structure of water in our bodies, not just to mention things that are water containing that we consume. So what this means is your thoughts and your unconscious fear loops are imprinting your biological cells, your biology every single day. Now, if this is something that you're already familiar with, please take this as a friendly reminder, because I know I do. I often forget that we are water vessels. We're walking memory sticks. And if we don't have our frequency in check, we're imprinting ourselves. And this is a completely different aspect of manifestation, but the things that we hold in our mind and our frequency are manifesting through our physical body, oftentimes in illness, in dis-ease, things that we don't want to experience in our bodies. And it's a fact of physics. So really good reminder if it's something you already do know. Okay. And I've seen this time and time again, right? One person's life or many small traumatic events that happened, the body can get stuck in sympathetic mode. And when that happens, degeneration starts to happen much more rapidly. And you never actually get to relax. Okay, I'm seeing like there's a break in the signal. That might be the internet here. I'm not sure, or if it's you guys, but I think you're coming back in. Okay, beautiful. Now, when your body never reaches that rest and repair state, you're experiencing things like fatigue, anxiety, aging is accelerated, disconnection, most of all, resistance to the true essence that you are and your true manifestation or creator abilities. And that all starts to fail because of that signal. So there's a lot of reasons why we want to really look at this and be very aware that we're playing a game of frequency. There's no other way to say it. Now, I know that you guys, at least the ones that I believe are on the call right now, even though we can't see you all, that you know that you're a quantum being, right? You are a bioenergetic transmitter. And when you emit a coherent signal, your life just becomes more fluid, more joyful, more aligned. Not because you're doing more, but because your field is clear. Can you guys relate to that? If you can, feel free to chime in, because I want to be able to. Yeah, Jules says yes, Tammy, 100%. Yeah, I knew it. I know some of you guys on here, you guys, when you're in the flow, you are in massive flow, right? And this is the essence of what we're about to do together. right? If there are times when it feels like there's more stress, or you just want to be able to top yourself up and bump your frequency up even more, the tool that we're going to use, the process that we'll go through today, you can use it for that as well. You don't have to be in dire straits. You can be in a relatively good state, and simply doing this will take you to the next level and extend that frequency of flow for longer periods of time. Okay. Step 1, awareness. Awareness and interrupting the loop. So this first step is often overlooked, but it's where the transformation actually begins. If you have done any work with me, especially if you've gone through any of the mentorship programs like Awakening Eden, group or private, you know I'm always harping, even in my YouTube videos, right? I'm always harping on awareness. It starts with awareness. Now, if you don't have awareness and it's really something that's running in the subconscious, no problem. This will address those things as well. But if we're talking about how we can go about navigating our day to day, awareness is number one. Same thing with everything, right? If you're an addict, you have to be aware. If you are chronically depressed, you have to become aware of your state. Otherwise, you are lost in the game. You're just lost in the experience, the human experience at the moment, and you cannot impact change in that way. So, because you can't recode what you haven't first become aware of in some aspects, you can, once you start the process, recode things that you weren't aware of. All you have to do is simply be in the awareness that you want to create a shift. And then that will take care of the rest, so to speak. All right. Now, there are two ways of entering, let's say, doing a recode. One, and I'm not sure how much we'll get into this later, so I'll say it now. You can use this technique two ways. One, if you are preemptively using it, so you are not yet down a spiral of negative thoughts. You're not in a place of feeling. You can use it before that momentum yet going in the opposite direction, or you can use it when you're in the middle of something. So let's say a situation catches you off guard. Normally you might be calm, but your mind is going. You're thinking about how is this going to happen? How did this happen? What am I going to do next? Whatever the storyline is that's going through your mind, you can still use it then, or you can use it preemptively. The way I've been teaching it is ideally use it preemptively. And I've got some really cool stories of some people, some of my clients and students who have been using it that way, and the results are amazing. Even if they have been in some really tough patterns of like mental looping. Yeah, we'll get into that in a bit. All right, so let's assume that you're going to use it as a tool to help you get out of something. So I'm going to assume that, yes, it's pretty straightforward. You're not in the experience of having momentum towards some kind of emotional dysregulation, and you're just in a calm state going about your day. Now, how I often recommend it to people is they can begin doing this as like a prescription, X number of times per day, regardless of how they feel in that moment. That way, we're actually using this as an entrainment device. But let's assume this is more like a worst case scenario. How would you use it if you're already feeling anxious or your mind is already kind of looping with thoughts? What do you do? Okay, first of all, what's a loop? A loop is a thought or emotion or behavioral sequence that is kicked in. Okay, it's starting to play automatically, and it's usually in response to a trigger, stress, or subconscious belief. You're thinking some kind of fear-based thought, and then you're having a fear-based reactive emotion. So the thought always starts in the brain. The thought releases the neurochemicals in the brain, stimulates the emotion, and then it becomes this complete somatic experience. You guys ever had that? Yeah? I know I have. Okay. So this ends up being a default broadcast. Yeah, Jules has been there too. I think everybody has. We've all started there at some point or been there at some chapter of our life. And are we still there now? For some of us, yeah. For some people, they're in the thick of it. And others, okay, maybe not so much, but there's still room for improvement. Wherever you are, you'll find this useful. Okay, so let me see here. The place where this gets challenging and where it really starts to impact the things that we're creating from when it talks about manifestation is that when those thoughts creep in, or if you find yourself, bear in mind, it doesn't have to be completely full-blown fear. It can simply be something that feels as little as unsettled. That is a sign of dysregulation, that there is a program running in the mind. And so we'll put a little context to it because I know we have mixed people in the audience, right? So for somebody who has perhaps already done quite a bit of work, you've been regulating your system and you don't go out of whack all that often. Now there's a further refinement for you where it's more about, okay, how can I become even more aware of when my system is actually dysregulated, that I don't notice it because it's subtle. Like I said, maybe you're just feeling a little flat, or maybe you're feeling uninspired, or you're feeling a little down in the slight way. These are all shifts in frequency. And so if we can continue to become aware of them, we can up-level them gently, slowly, and sometimes very quickly. Because what happens is that will become the default broadcast in that moment. And then any decisions we make while in that state tend to be dysregulated or out of alignment as well. And then things that we are creating are being created from that signal as well. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. So step one is being aware. Where are you in the process? Are you in the middle of a thought loop? Is something happening? Or has something been triggered, activated within you? Are you in kind of a low grade, not feeling great, maybe just like feeling down a little bit? Or are you completely neutral or actually having a not bad day and you're still going to use the tool? Like, where are you when you're choosing to use it? Number two. Okay, so these loops, and neuroscience tells us this, is that neurons that fire together wire together. So every time you react the same way to the same kind of situation, we're reinforcing that loop. And so I like to talk about this with the girls in our circle. Like, we're stepping into, and you've seen this in my YouTube videos, right? I'm always talking about being able to step more and more into mastery. And so that's where becoming aware of these kind of patterns, even if they're subtle patterns that have now wired together as neural pathways in the brain, becoming more aware of those and being able to change the mental playlist that's going on in the brain, because it goes on repeat. And even if you're not choosing it consciously, it's something that runs there. And sometimes it's those, well, not sometimes, you'll know what it is when it's one of those, let's even say like the quietest dialogues in the back of the mind. Those whispers that almost get ignored because they're not screaming at you, but they're the things that maybe make you procrastinate, or the things that make you feel insecure, afraid to show your face, afraid to speak up, afraid of judgment, even though you don't really name it that. Does that make sense? Yeah. So the awareness creates the initial interruption. When you become aware of you'll know that one of the first into your thoughts. write them down, and pay attention and even count them, because the awareness starts to break the pattern. It's the very beginning. Okay, I'm going to give you a little brief story here. Okay, there was one woman that I work with. She was actually a real high performing woman in her career. And she was also, really wanting to expand her spirituality. So she had that side to her as well. And she kept experiencing shutdowns in her energy. Like she just wasn't able to feel inspired. And when we were tracking the programming and looking at what the program loop was for her, it was this background script that said, if I don't keep everything under control, something bad's going to happen. Something bad's going to happen. And she wasn't saying that out loud necessarily, but it was running. And her thoughts and dialogue to herself would keep this theme going. And it kept reinforcing this idea that something's going to go wrong. Something bad's going to happen. Something bad's going to happen. And again, it wasn't conscious, but it was running pretty much 24/7 when things would get going at work. It was usually the impetus was something at work. And then depending on how long that situation lasted for, it could go on for hours, days, often weeks. And then this became kind of a theme, this constant in the back. What if something goes wrong? So just becoming aware of that loop when we were in session together, she had the awareness, but then when we took the awareness together and started to break it down and started to almost cut it up and say how, I don't want to say ridiculous, but really the ego mind says ridiculous things to us that don't make sense, that blow things up so that we begin to catastrophize. So we brought awareness to it, and then it was able to be looked at a little bit more objectively. Now, we're talking at this point about starting with awareness. What loops do you think are running you at the moment? What comes up for you? Are there any themes that you notice for yourself? Type them in the chat if there is, because I'd love to know. And I know for myself, for the longest time, one of mine was, and it made no sense because I loved like public speaking when I was a kid. And then something happened when I got older. I became an adult and I was married at the time. And I became terrified to like go on camera and go on video. I was so afraid of judgment. It was always like, what are they going to think? What are they going to think? It was crazy, absolutely crazy. And it made no sense because it's not like there was really anybody watching to judge me. I was just going to go and like do a Facebook Live or something, or even just record a video and send it to friends in a group. It was terrible. So what loops may be coming up for you? Okay, at any point, feel free to type it in the chat. Okay, so awareness is that breaking point, right? Awareness is that breaking point. The moment you recognize it, you're no longer in it. And that's the thing that I really want to hammer home here. You've stepped above it. And that's the moment when your frequency can begin to shift. So even if it's something subtle, the moment you become aware of it, if you choose to do something with it, you can. Now, if you don't, it will probably remain there. But that's where free will comes in. Right? I often say if it's before we go there, because what we're going to do is we're going to anchor that shift into the body, because the nervous system needs to be involved if the nervous system is already out of whack. Tammy says, nothing happens if I do nothing. So there's a call from urgent/pressure to take any kind of action. Ooh, I like that. I hear you. Yes. I think I'm hearing you. Tammy, I think I'm getting it. Okay, the connection just got cut off. Okay. And Jules is saying, yeah, fear thoughts. Oh, I hear you. Okay. I think I'm hearing Tammy that if you happens, and so you'll feel like an urgent call to take any kind of action in those cases. Yeah, I hear you. And that's powerful because really any action will usually get us out of inaction. Absolutely. And can often like lift your spirits too, as well. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Jules, for letting me know about the connection. We're in the middle of a really bad thunderstorm over here, and there's a lot of lightning. So it's interesting. Okay, we'll just cross our fingers. All right, step 2 is calm the body. All right, so we're going to just go into this now together. Now, the second part of the process is really, once you're aware of what you're going to do, am I in a situation where I have to deal with emotion, with a nervous system that is out of whack already, it's dysregulated, or am I just doing this because I want to just feel good? And you're going to notice it just feels good. In fact, we kind of tapped into this in the very beginning. And it's about calming the body. So because awareness is so powerful, but if the nervous system is still stuck in stress, your energy is not going to hold the shift as well. So your body has to feel grounded. So we're going to start just by doing that. So in the process, and you guys have seen, if you've ever done any kind of work with me, you'll know, and especially if we've done like some kind of activation or the meditations that I have on YouTube that some of you have done together with me, it always starts with calming breath, right? So this isn't about having to go super deep into anything. It's just connecting to your breath. Okay. So let's do that just for a moment now. Just take a minute. Oh my gosh, I can hear the rain going like crazy here. All right. So just for a moment, stop. We're going to take a few deep breaths in. Just becoming aware of your body. And another breath in. Just noticing what you feel. And that's all we're doing in this very first step. You're assessing how you feel. Do you feel any kind of tension running in your system? Or are you more or less calm? Oh my goodness. Zoom just quit. That's very interesting. Restream is actually our winning platform now, I see. And I see you guys, some of you have been disconnected, but you're back. All right. Jules, you're a trooper. I see you there, sister. You're inspiring me to drink too. Okay. All right, quick story. Had another client, a sister of ours. I'm not going to name any names because, I want to keep her anonymous for now, but I think she knows who she is. So this was a real game changer for me. It really hit home. Let's put it that way. So there was a sister that I've been working with, and she's so beloved. She's actually a soul sister too. I know we had lives in the past together. She reminds me of just like instantly family. But she was committed to breaking the cycle of stress in her family. And one of the things she said to me was, I didn't want to pass on my anxiety to my daughter. And when she started using this tool, this technique, the most amazing thing happened. She said, I didn't want to pass this on to my anxiety onto my daughter. And now I get to pass this on instead. Did I include that? No, I didn't include it in the slide. Basically, what happened was, after I think about a week, just a week of using this, she saw incredible shift in her energy field. Long story short. And then one day she sends me a picture after she sent me that sort of note, that message. And it was a photo of her daughter and her side by side in meditation pose, in lotus pose. And her daughter, who was 3, was like a beautiful little cherub right next to her doing the breath break that I'm about to show you now. They were doing it together. And this is the power of learning this. And this is why I love working with moms too, is because you get to pass the transformations on that you experience down to your family, down to your lineage. And that's the real impact. Now, whether or not you have family or children is irrelevant, because we pass these things on just in our presence with all those we meet. And if you share a tool with someone else who's going through a hard time, you have tremendous impact in their life as well. So I wanted to share that, because that was one of the most beautiful of someone using this veil technique to change their own life tremendously, but also to make an amazing shift and give the gift to their own family members and daughter. Okay. Let's do that breath break, shall we? Okay. So we're going to walk through it together. Now, step 1, you're going to drop in. Bring awareness to the body. Feel your breath, your weight, your energy. Where are you? We've already done that. Step 2, we've already done that as well. It's just slowly take a few breaths and really come into the body. Knowing where you are, you've taken an assessment, and you're slowly calming your system down. Now, the next part is really, you can approach it a few different ways. It can end simply as a series of what I'm describing as balloon breathing, okay? And we do that for a series of minutes. But then if you want to take it further, you can then go and do, call it more advanced, but take it further and start to work with some visualizations of some stuff that's very specific that came through from my guides, divine essence, that said, this is what we work with to recode the frequency more specifically and to clearly feel. Explain why this works first. All right. So we've already talked about the fact that the body is primarily water, right? Highly, highly imprintable. This is where entrainment, okay? If your thoughts are frequency and that frequency is out of alignment, your biology is being distorted by that noise of distortion in the signal that you're emitting, okay? And your system becomes incoherent. That's when the nervous system becomes dysregulated. That's when the emotional states become dysregulated as well. But this is where entrainment comes in. Just like one tuning fork can bring another one into resonance, or if you've ever done a sound bath with me, you'll know that a tuning fork can also make the bowls sing, or the bowls can make the tuning fork sing. This is all frequency entrainment. And that's what we're doing when we're using this process the 3-point breath break is what I'm calling it right now, to attune our frequency. So it clears the static and it's resetting your signal to your true soul signature. Okay? It's not about suppressing anything. It's not about creating another program over it, like what some modalities do. It's just about retraining your body through entrainment to feel better, to elevate your frequency. And doing that over and over again allows you to up-level your baseline signature, imprinting your quantum field with a new code. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. And then eventually that becomes your default. And that's exactly what our sister, my client, has noticed, is that she doesn't go into this catastrophizing as much anymore. Well, no, not as much. She doesn't go there. It's just not part of the reality anymore. And what happens when we elevate our frequency is we go out of the bandwidth, out of the potentials, the quantum potentials that are available in a particular bandwidth of frequency, right? There's so much more to that we can talk about. But anyways, bottom line is, when we do this, the body enters the rest and repair, rest and regeneration cycles. They can happen. And you feel good. You just naturally feel better. When people start doing this regularly, and I see them from one week to the other, they actually look different. It's amazing. You see it because your cells shift from holding discordant frequencies and miasma into holding more light and more coherent energy and a more coherent frequency. It's really beautiful. And what happens on the inside when I speak to the bodies, even more beautiful. Okay, so that's what we're rewiring here. We're rewiring you for soul-led creation, because the more light that you're holding, when you're attuning and entraining your signature to a higher frequency, that light is your true essence. And so if your cells are carrying more light, when you're emanating a higher signature frequency, you're able to create more in alignment with your true soul self. Does that make sense, guys? Is that resonating with you? Yeah? Okay, beautiful. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Jules. Beautiful. Okay, so how do we anchor it all in? We bring it into the quantum field. And how do you bring into the quantum field? Really, it's by emission. You're emitting. Okay, and that's where quantum creation comes in, and I love this part. Okay. So when your nervous system is calm, your body is able to receive a new signal. Let me see. You're not just thinking, right? You're a feeler, you're an emitter, you're a transmitter, especially the brain. And so this, let's say the optional steps in this process involve working with the brain. And I find this really, yeah, it's something that's come up in a couple of meditations recently where we've had a lot of fun with it. And we're directly using this divine light and cleaning or purifying the distortions in the mind. Okay. So let's talk briefly just about imprinting. I know Dr. Joe talks a lot about this, but it's really true. Most people are trying to change their reality by moving matter. And the truth is, we can do so much more, so much easier if we're just moving things at the quantum level. And that involves using the mind and using the energy system. Spiritual growth, right? Because so much more is accessible when our frequency is clear. It goes into alignment and becomes coherent. But it was impeding some of my creations. I knew things were coming in more slowly. And so I wanted to, oh, thank you, Jules, for a long time. Man, I hope, oh my God, what a fun night. A minute? Oh my goodness. Okay. I don't think you missed much. Bottom line, I think I was just starting to say that I started using this kind of practice myself because I wanted to create more ease when my life was getting extremely busy. So I went into a highly creative phase. And actually, even this year, I would say the beginning of this year, I went back to this and was using it a lot. And it's because there was so much on my plate and so much was beautiful, like soul purpose work that I wanted to do. But I'm like, how on earth am I going to do all of this? And still be productive here and still do this and still serve my clients in this way in the mentorship programs, etc. And so I'm like, why am I stressing? Let me just go into the field and imprint and make sure that I set the tone for the day. So I would start my day with this. And then throughout the day, based on how I was feeling, sometimes I just wanted to dip in because it feels so good to be there. And I would just dip in. And then it kind of brings things. This is then out and being able to sit in there, sink in there for a moment in time. Okay. This is where you begin to embody. It's not just visualizing, right? What we're trying to create or what we're wanting to experience. This isn't so much fake it till you make it, although sometimes I think it is, right? Because you can tap into the frequency of something without having to believe it. You can get there, just tap into the frequency and bypass the mind. That's for another conversation. But for now, when you feel that frequency in your body and you feel that feeling in your cells of things just like coming into alignment, you've locked in. And then from that point, we'll bring that frequency, move it through the body in a certain direction, certain way, and then we're really taking it to the next level. From there, you can imprint with just about anything you want to. Okay, let's do this together now. Okay. You guys there? You got a comfortable space? You ready? Let's just do this. I feel like it's taken a long time for us to get here. This next iteration I'm going to leave out some things, I think. I'd love your feedback after. We'll just do this part first. Okay. I'm going to assume we've already acknowledged we know where we are. Okay. And now we're going to just sink into the breath break. Okay. I'll let you know when we've done the basic part. And then we'll go into what I would say are your options. All right. Now, the basic part is basically just this. And believe it or not, this is what most people that I've taught this to have taken, used, and get amazing results with. Amazing. Like within a week from one mentorship call to the next, 1 week later, I've seen massive shifts in folks, believe it or not. And from a simple, they get customized prescriptions based on what their body or higher self is asking for. Whoops. But if there is, I've got a mosquito. If I was to just say like, what's like a good blanket prescription, I would recommend doing this for 3 minutes, just the basic, okay? Just the basic for 3 minutes and do it 4 times a day. That's what I received as would be like a good kind of standard. So if you want to play with it that way, that's how I would recommend it. Otherwise, I mean, any amount of time that you do it is going to be beneficial, but that would be a supercharged way to use this. And the basic practice of the 3-point breath break is simply this. Step 1, where are you? Are you in a place where you need to actually address something? I've got lots of mosquitoes in here all of a sudden. While you're doing the balloon breath, you are visualizing any of that discordant energy leaving the body and your true essence coming in. The discordance leaving and your essence coming in. Okay, let me guide you through it. And then I will guide you through the one where you're actually dissolving energy as if you're using it kind of on the fly. You're not feeling so hot and you need to recalibrate. And then I will also walk you through at the same time, right after that, what you can do afterwards to amplify it. There's another couple of things that we'll do and you'll notice. Okay, let's go. I really hope you don't feel and hear any of these slaps as I have mosquitoes around me. Okay, let's go. So close your eyes. Wherever you are, start to become aware of your breath. Slowly breathing in and out through the nose. Beautiful. Becoming aware of your energy, where you may be feeling tense. And just invite as you're in this state of relaxation, just slowly breathing, become aware of anywhere in your body and your energy field where you are feeling some kind of stress, some kind of tension, and invite it forward. We're not resisting anything. We're not trying to get rid of anything. We're doing the exact opposite. You're just inviting it, opening, allowing it to be present. We're just now, as you breathe, start to see yourself as if you are a balloon. Your entire body, your entire field expands on the inhale and gently collapses on the exhale. And every inhale, breathing in clear light. And every exhale, releasing static, releasing tension, and releasing any of that energetic residue that is that discordant energy that is not you. Just continue to inhale and exhale deeply and slowly with no breath holds. Just in and out. And every exhale, releasing more and more into the. Now gently put a smile on your face. Breathing in that beautiful crystalline white light. And exhaling that light, bringing any discordant energy with it. Feeding your cells with this beautiful crystalline light. Last time, take a deep breath in. Beautiful. Now, you could end the process right there. And just by doing this, you have shifted your frequency. You've entrained your frequency to a higher octave. You have calmed the physical body and your nervous system. And you've come back into the present moment. But if you want to take this further, here's the next thing you would do. Pulling your energy inwards towards your spine. All that white light that you've been breathing in and out, purifying your energy, Now pull it towards your spine. The central spinal column is that divine passage. It's a conduit for your true soul essence. And that cerebral spinal fluid is like the liquid memory of your soul essence. So bring that light and your energy inwards towards the spine. Hold it there. And now extend it up into the brain. Breathing deeply, breathing slowly. Fill your brain with this light. And feel the feelings of appreciation. Thank you, thank you, thank you for purifying these thought frequencies, allowing this divine crystalline light to transmute all that is present, that is ready to go, ready to shift, ready to be breathing out anything that's ready to leave your field. And bringing that light further into the brain, every single space in the brain. Actively purifies the structures, the neural pathways that are ready to shift, leveling up the frequency of the fluid in the brain, the CSF, connecting you back into your source intelligence through your soul signature. Beautiful. Now, this part was optional, but amplifies things. It's a purifier. It's a recoder. And clears your frequency. And if you want to imprint into the field now, this is a perfect time. You can imprint something that you wish to create, or you can simply imprint with well-being. My dreams are being realized. Put yourself of no matter what your life is, tap into the frequency and the reality of you living your best life experience. See yourself and feel yourself laying on thick, lush grass. The warm, gentle sun above you and a gentle breeze. The smell laying the care in the world. All is taken care of. Everything you could have imagined you ever wanted, ever dreamed. Just enjoy that. Breathe into it. All right. You can start to bring yourself back. And guys, I'm looking at the chat. I see it's been cutting out and it's been freezing. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Okay. I'm going to extend an offer to join the community to anybody here who is not already with us. And I will do that. And of course, any feedback, please, I'd be delighted to receive it. And yes, one of the feedbacks will be about this connection. But we're going to play with this again on a day when we have a stable connection, when we'll just jump right into the process, and I'll record something that has the details more concisely. So we'll get a bit of a redo, okay? I know this was really tough. I kept seeing how many times the connection seemed to be unstable. Oh my God. Are you guys still there? Oh, good, Tammy. I'm glad. Yeah. It's really quite amazing. If I had not had the experience, first of all, with myself, to know, like, wow, this is the same way that the one shift method was born. Oh, good, Heidi. I'm glad you had the experience too. I wasn't sure if you were still there or not. But if I hadn't seen it for myself and then didn't see the dramatic shifts that I've seen with clients when I introduce this, and here's the thing. The reason why from this, okay, let's see if I can take us here. Now the slides are freezing. Okay, doesn't matter. Don't need a slide for this. Let's see where we are. Oh my gosh. Let's see. All right, here we are. Okay, so what happens now? So what you did was, as you can see, like it's pretty simple. There's like a simple part of the process, and then if you like, you can extend it. You can add the additional parts to it and actually, really purify some of the neural pathways. And what's going to happen is there's going to be a priority set. So don't feel like, oh, I didn't get them all. Trust and know that you're working with your own true soul essence that is working with you to deactivate what needs to be deactivated and to elevate what needs to be elevated. It's always for your highest good based on where you are on your soul journey. Just know that right off the bat. The second thing, though, is it was simple, but it's not small. Okay? You cleared noise. You chose calmness. Now, you did this with me, but you don't have to. So when I say here there's two options and there's two paths, there are. So option one is you take what you learned today and you go and practice it on your own. You do it on your own, right? And honestly, that's beautiful. You can totally do that. You've got what you need to do that. And so if you do that, you have my blessing. You have my blessing. My goal here was to give you everything you needed to make this part of your regular practice. Okay? Now, the reality that I've discovered, even with working with people who are like clients and we are in a private program together, is that most people won't do it. And it's not your fault if you don't. So I encourage you, make it part of your practice. You don't have to do option two, which is do it in community. We're going to be doing a lot of fun with this process and more. This is a brand new community. We have been is and will be, and next that we've been dabbling with more consistency and more players to play with, which is really exciting. And so we're going to be doing this kind of stuff in the community, and I'll tell you more about that. But the reason why I'm offering this is because most people won't do it. And like I said, it's not your fault. It's not bad to not do it on your own. It's just, we fall victim to the tricky ego mind. There's always something else that will take priority, especially if we're busy and one thing leads to another. And then you find that you just haven't done it. I can't tell you how many times I've seen this, even in containers where there's one-on-one support, right? So if we really are just on our own, the likelihood of us doing things that are for our highest good is just generally lower. It's just the way the lower human nature works. It's because we still have an ego mind that's at play that we find ourselves falling, at the mercy of it at times. And so that's why this offer of option two exists. Okay? Which is you stay in the field. The field like what we are bathing in right now, our group avatar. Some of you are here from, the Elevate with Katya community, right? The Soul Creator Collective. And in there, even if you are not always in there, engaging in our chat, showing up on the Zoom calls, or doing a live stream with us, or engaged fully in one of the challenges that we do, because I love challenges and we're about to start another one. If you are even in the background, and we have some sisters that honestly, we hardly see their faces, but they are there. They're tapping into the replays. There, every now and then, we see an explosion of chats from them, and we get this beautiful update. Or some of them never actually chime in. I'll just get like a private message from them saying, oh my God, this has been so amazing. Thank you for creating this container. I'm there in the background and it looks like I'm not doing anything, but I so appreciate everything. So, whatever way you feel comfortable, this container can support you. And you don't have to feel obligated to be all in. I mean, geez, Tammy, if I can speak to you for a moment, Tammy has had times when she has been all in and then she's had to be out from traveling, but her essence is with us. And we get to share experiences like this and other things when it aligns. The same can be for you. God bless you, Tammy. Yeah, it's so true. All right. So, let's see. Zoom quit again. Great. Looks like Restream is here. Introducing Elevate with Katya, the Soul Creator Collective. Okay. Why isn't everyone doing this? The obvious thing is that if this work is so powerful, why isn't everybody doing it? And I already stated, right? Even though it's simple, most people don't have the spiritual or mental discipline to stay consistent, especially on their own. And it's not a judgment, it's just the human game. Okay, I hope that's clear because I'm not trying to judge and I'm not saying, well, you take this, you won't be able to do it yourself. Absolutely not. If you've got the discipline, you will do it. I just find, I mean, heck, I haven't had the discipline sometimes and I'm pretty good. I'm a keener. So we all came into this matrix with an ego, and this is where it really gets into play. The whole point was to dissolve the ego as we get to this point. We're going into 2025 and we're really starting to let go of it and embody our creator essence. But we rarely can do that as effectively on our own. And I think you guys who are here know what I'm saying because there is such a longing for community. And I know some of you specifically, we've had conversations about this, but this is at a collective level. So, and the reason is at a soul level, we know we can create more and become ourselves more and build a collective signature together. Yeah, Tammy says community is huge for me right now for sure. Yeah, right? We didn't come to do this journey as in a silo, and we came to do it in community, especially now. And that's why so many people are finding their soul fam, because we're supposed to connect and things like this together, things that elevate us, things that allow us to create and live the things that we really dream of and that we want to bring forward and create, not just manifest, create as our new Eden, as our new earth experiences. Elevate Katya community is one of those family. If it resonates with you, there's a reason why it rings as true for your soul path. So if it does, you are welcome to join us. And I admit this is not for everybody. This container itself, if you joined us, this is the core membership, the base membership within Elevate with Katya, the Soul Creator Collective. And within that, you have access to many things depending on what you want to do on your soul path, what you're called to. If you want more support, more accelerated expansion, for example, there are ways you can do that. There are group coaching programs available, namely Awakening Eden. That is my signature program. I've offered that for, this is 5 years now. It's constantly evolving and refining. It's been quite a beautiful experience, but it is an absolute game changer. Some of you on the call I know have been through that. Actually, Jules was one of our very first. You were my very first cohort of that. My God, that was life-changing. Anyways, that was incredible. So that is an opportunity. There's also courses that are available. We're doing our first, I think, in-person gathering this fall. I think we have pegged for October. And there's also other things that, you can always tap into depending on how you want to participate. But this core group membership offers so much already and offers a tremendous amount of support and the community, because it's really about the community. But it's not a coaching program on its own. So it's not like you're signing up for the coaching program. That's different, and you don't have to. That is something, if you feel called to, I can't recommend it highly enough. And the sisters who have been through it generally say the same thing. Like, it's been worth it. Yeah. So it's not a course. It is a frequency field and community and resources that allow us to continue to remember who we are, expand that, create the things we want for our future, meaning our new earth life, this next life we're creating now, and to remove the distortion, to dismantle slowly, sometimes rapidly, the ego mind. So it's a sacred community space where we do exactly what we did today together in many opportunities regularly, and we do it gently, and we do it with joy, and we do it in a variety of ways. So inside the community, let me see here. I think I might have a slide for this, but there's one Zoom call each month with me where we have group sharing. I think some of you have all been on that, maybe not you, Heidi, but they're a lot of fun. It changes depending on the theme. You've seen on my YouTube channel, I like to really connect into the energy of what's happening, like energetically, cosmically, as well as what's happening with Gaia and any solar influence, because it all influences us, as well as numerology and astrology. So I generally give some kind of tiny little energy update. And then we go into the experience of that evening's group call. It generally ends with a meditation activation where we get to do something like what we did today, but usually it's something that's channeled, and it's a transmission that comes in on its own. Depending on what's live or active in the group avatar, it will sometimes be a clearing and an activation. So we have lots of different stuff to play with. And then there's members only live streams each month, public facing live streams where the live stream first portion is public, when I may be giving like updates on the energy, the themes for that particular week or month. And then we go into a meditation, an activation or sound bath, and we do that privately within the community, giving some people in the public an opportunity to, be curious about what we do there. And we do challenges as well. So I think on the next slide, I actually spell it all out for you. Let me see. Wish I could read that. Okay. So what do we have here? As a grounding member, I'm calling it grounding member because this next group, we had our founding members who came in first, and my heart goes out to all of you. It's been such a beautiful experience just to do this journey with you so far. And now we're opening up to grounding members where we're really going to root ourselves in this frequency. And the offering that I was guided to give, because I tune in on everything, as crazy as that sounds. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Oh yeah, I can see. Is $23.99 a month, 14-day money back guarantee, so it's completely risk-free. And if you say, why not, a free trial? This comes through, and it was the same thing for our founding members, that there was a money back guarantee, but it was about being able to make a payment. And as silly as this sounds, Yeshua was explaining it to me. It's like it activates the container. Do you guys get that? Like when we make transactions? Anyways, that's where that came from. A 30-minute clarity call as well with me. Now, those of you who came in as founders, you know we had our clarity calls. I love those so much. Tammy, I think we still need to do one, if I'm not mistaken. I've been looking forward to that. And then the bonus is we are going to be doing a breath break challenge. Now I got to get out of full screen because I can't see my notes on the dates. Where are we here? We're going to be doing, all right. Okay. And in that 30-minute clarity call with me, we're going to tune into your body and higher self and ask, what's in highest priority for you? If you have things that you are wanting to create, or you find you are particularly blocked in an area, we can look at whatever you like. Like I have no problems asking whether it's your higher self, your soul, your body consciousness. We can tap into whatever you like. That's for you. And I don't like to say this, but I'm going to say it because it puts context to it. My regular hourly rate is $275. And so there is value with this 30-minute call. And I love them because it is a way that we can get to know each other and really get to see how will this community serve you best, and what do you need in the way of support? How can we best support you? And so they're a lot of fun. I really love these calls. So Tammy, come on, let's book that call. I think it's because I feel like I've known you already for such a long time that maybe it's like, oh, it's just an official thing to do. But yeah, let's do it. And what's your next aligned step? And the bonus of the one shift method, this is the other part too. So we're doing a 10-day breath break implementation challenge. That is supposed to start next week inside the community. We've scheduled a kickoff call for June 8th, which I believe, is that a Monday? Let me see. That's Sunday. So we'll have a short, fun kickoff party for that. And then on June 10th, we'll be starting the Breath Break Challenge. And so this will be where we actually get to, do this work together, but in a focused way daily for 10 days. So you can experience the shift that you came here to experience, like to take yourself to another level. And everybody who is part of Elevate with Katya, of course, you get this for free. This is included for you. And I can't wait to start this one. And then we have our celebration call on the 20th of June. Oh, I just realized that's the solstice. How funny. I kept asking, I'm like, why June 10th? Like, we should be starting this sooner. Of course, we're going to celebrate on that. That is so funny. Always works this way. That's why I always follow that higher guidance, because it's got something up its sleeve. All right. So it's a beautiful way, if you were to join the Elevate with Katya community, it's a beautiful way to integrate what you've learned, bring it to life. You'll also be the first to access my signature one shift method process, which has only ever been available in my private mentorship program, in the group program, and private one-to-one coaching, and in my certification program. That's the only place it's ever been available. So this is brand new. So I'm making it available in the core community. This is to really unwind stories, dramas, traumas, and completely transmute whatever is there. And yeah, there's also a separate clearing process that you learn in that as well. It is so transformational. Like I can't explain. I should post some video actually of people talking about it. I'll put one together for you guys. But either way, that's never been available up till now. That is being installed in the community as we speak. I'm very excited about that. So you will have full access to that as well. And Down the road, it may be something that is like an add-on that people pay separately for, but coming in as a grounding member, you get that indefinitely. Like, you get that for life. And founding members, you will have that as well. You get everything. And there's going to be a new member welcome call and sound bath party. So for those of you who are staying and choosing to join us, we're going to be having that party. This community exists. One of the biggest things I hear from my private clients, especially, and including graduates of the Awakening Eden Mentorship Program, is like, where do I find people who think like this, who are on this wavelength? And that question is why I created this community. This community has been in the making for over 5 years. From the very first cohort, actually 5 years and a bit, I guess. The very first cohort in 2020 was when I started getting that. And just before that was some of the coaching clients where they were like getting the Awakening Eden material in a different format. I was like, I have to start a community. I have to start a community. And I've been looking for a community space for 5 years. And finally, at the end of last year, I found it. And so we're here, and that's what we're building together. So that's why this community exists, because after a breakthrough, there is a period of entrainment there's a period for the opportunity of entrainment. So when you have like a major shift or you have a big breakthrough, often what happens is it starts to fizzle. It can feel kind of like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, right? And it's because the things that were so fresh in your mind when you had a consciousness shift, they start to fade. Your memory starts to fade. I think the studies say that, like, if you don't revisit notes on within 12 hours, you lose like 50% of it. If you don't review it in 2 hours, you lose 70%. And if you don't review it within 2 or 3 days, I think you lose up to 80% of it. And it's the same kind of thing, not necessarily with all breakthroughs, but depending on the kind of breakthrough you have or the shift you create, when you start to be a different person, a lot of the times it can be challenging when it's a consciousness shift and a way of looking at the world where it's easy to get sucked back into old ways of being because the people around you just don't think or be that way. Whereas if you're in a community or a circle of people who do, they use a similar language, they think a similar way. Not that everybody thinks exactly the same, but there's similarities. There's a frequency, a resonance. It keeps you in training to that and then continuing to move up your spiral of evolution as opposed to sidetracking or getting thrown off track. Does that make sense to any of you guys? Have any of you had that experience before of kind of like expanding huge in a really positive way and then feeling like you backtracked or sidetracked a little bit because it wasn't part of your everyday? That's a big part of why this is here. So the community helps you not slip back. It helps you hold that frequency, whether you show up live, as I said, or you're just kind of tapping in the background. It's a soul family and it's a resonance. It's like our earthly monad. So, yeah. Now, other things that you'll get is also there's a series of 12 transmissions. This is a bonus that's being uploaded now inside the community as well. And I think most of you or some of you who are on this call now were participating in, which is the 12 days of Christ activations. So those were seriously encoded at the last solstice, the December solstice, giving us big encodement upgrades for what we're creating now in 2025. And you'll have complete access to that as well. And yeah, so that's basically it. You have what you need to use this and run with it, right? I don't want you to feel like if you don't join us in the community, it will never work for you, because that's not at all the case. You have what you need. You can run with it and have fun with it and change your life. And if it feels like you want more support, you want more connection, you want some soul fam to do this with, to have fun, to have structures like challenges, playful spiritual challenges, really, initiations that can hold you to something that you know you want to do for yourself, but let's face it, sometimes without a deadline or accountability, and that's what challenges give us, we don't do things. So that's why I love to do challenges inside the container, and we'll continue to do them more actually now that we're past this phase of our group development. So if that stuff resonates with you, then yeah, that's one of the things you'll find here. If you want to see what we are like, you can visit elevatewithkatya.com. That is the landing page that tells you a little bit about the community. I will send more information by email to you guys. So for those of you who are not yet members, I'll send more details your way. And this, I don't know if this even recorded properly. I would normally say this replay will be up for 48 hours and then coming down. The opportunity to join us, I'm keeping that open until, when is it? Till the 9th is what. But again, if you're ready, jump a while and you are covered by the no questions asked money back guarantee as well. Any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. And otherwise, my goodness, we did it, sisters. Kind of. We did it in a very unique way. It felt kind of disjointed from all of the interruptions with the signal, but we did it. We used this live stream service together. Thank you for being my test bunnies. Thank you. And thank you, Heidi, for hanging in there. I think you are new to our community. It's beautiful to have you with us. Jules, Tammy, and anyone else I can't see. If you're on, you may be on YouTube, and I just don't know where that is right now. Thank you for joining us. You've been a trooper. I'm sending you so much love, and I will follow up with you. If you are in YouTube, on YouTube rather, I'm assuming you would have come from my email list and you probably subscribed or signed up for this workshop through the ad campaign that was running. Thank you for saying yes. It has been an honor to support you and to get to know you in this way. I really do look forward to connecting with you. If you have any questions at all, please feel free, just respond to one of my emails. And we'd be delighted to have you inside the community if this is something that resonates with you. All right. I think that's it, guys. Sending you so much love. Wherever you are, may the sun shine on you with rays of divine light. And just know that you are perfect, exactly as you are. It's been an honor and such a gift to have shared your energy and your presence in this way. I look forward to doing it again if our paths cross in that way. And let's just take 3 breaths together. And one more. I love you dearly. And remember, what we learned and covered today, or were reminded of, is that your frequency is everything. And you now have a tool that you can use anytime you like to recode your frequency, elevate yourself to the next level, or take yourself out of a spiral of lower frequency energies and feel more connected and reconnected to the true essence that you are. Sending you so much love. Thanks for sticking through it, guys. Bye for now.